Hello, come with me and let us check out the challenges of parents in child's discipline. My name is Helen, the set person of Marriage on the Rock and Singles with Purpose. First is lack of agreement between parents. It's a challenge. They were not supposed to be contradicting each other right in the presence of a child. This will actually pose a lot of effects that is negative in nature towards disciplining such child. Second, anger driven discipline. This is a very great challenge because a child did something little and then there is an explosion all the time, like maybe from the father or the mother. Just a spill of water on the floor, then you already landed a slap on him or her. So, if your discipline is always out of anger, then it becomes a challenge. Third, peer and media influence. In fact, this has become a very great challenge in recent time because these children they have like a bad copies. They have so many copies of languages from schoolmates, from friends, from colleagues out there. So even the social media and then the TV and every other things around them might pose an issue, a problem to parenting. So a parent should please find a way to limit the harmful shows they watch. You encourage your children the Christian way. You educate them with Christian educational content. You use real life discussions with them. You use words that are correct to show them example. You say this is the way we speak in our family. We cherish and then we admire respect. We don't throw tantrums. We don't speak the F, which is the foul languages here. Just try and then make it standardized in your family that this is the way we want to go in this home and not necessarily what is going on around you, your peer groups or the media. You can go that way. The fourth challenge is over discipline or under discipline. If a parent beats a child over every little things he or she does, or he or she just ignored every bad behavior, this is an imbalance. So you can't be overly in discipline your child and you cannot be under. So you will have to strike a balance. You will have to match your correction to offenses. So if it is minor, you can let it go. If a child forgets to greet, for example, you can gently correct him or her. And if a child lies constantly, you might actually discipline and then you apply some conversations. The fifth is time constraints. I must say that this is very, very major because almost every parent out there are very, very busy. So they rushes out early hour in the morning and then gets back in the evening. They leave no time for moral training. There is a very great reduced face-to-face interaction between parents and children. This poses a lot of issues because the children will be left to themselves almost every part of the day except for early hours in the morning when you will be rushing to go out, and then late at night when you'll be ready, when you will be preparing the meals or getting ready for the next day. So this poses a lot of challenges to parenting and then even to discipline of a child. Most of the time some parents don't even notice what is going on with their children until they must have exhibited such negativities outside the home, maybe on the street or maybe in the church or maybe in the school, because the parent before such parents will now be invited to come for discussion, for dialogue. It is very, very bad. But what we should do that is practicable is that both parents, I would advise that we use every small moments together. Even when you are beating them in the morning, you use such period to instill discipline. You use such periods to encourage them. You use such periods to discourage bad attitudes. Every small moment should please count. Even in the evening when you come back, of course, you can do Bible storytelling time. Sixth point is emotional attachment. I have seen this from maybe waiting parents who now eventually have a son or a daughter, the family, the miracle child of some waiting parents. They become so emotionally attached to such child that they will say, okay, no, I can't punish him, I can't punish her. He's my only son, she's my only daughter. No, you are not doing any good thing to that child. You are meant to discipline with love and not indulgence. For example, if you love a child and you want him to turn out the right way, in the way of the Lord, you cannot accommodate all of his flaws without correction, without discipline. You cannot allow him to keep on disobeying all of your rules. You are not teaching morals. You are not teaching the godly way. You are not actually loving that child. You are actually spoiling the child. Seventh is the influence of extended family. What about the grandpas, the grandmas, the uncles, and the aunties that interfere from time to time? Either they are pampering a child or they are overcorrecting the child, they are overprotective. A grandmother can say, leave him alone, he's just a child, when a parent want to discipline. But you know what? We shouldn't only limit that. Despite the overpampering and then the influences of the extended family, I would encourage every parent to please take their stand on their virtues, on their morals. They should know what they want for their child and not at the dictate of every other members of their extended family. 8th challenge is we not modeling what we teach. You're correcting a child and you are doing the wrong thing, you are doing the opposite thing. Parents will tell their child something and then they will do something else. They copy your actions and not your words alone, even much more than your words. They copy that. So to every parent out there who are hypocrites in nature, no, you should lead by example. Yeah, tutor by example, model Christ-likeness, model the right character to them. So this poses a lot of difficulties out there when you tell a child don't do this and you yourself capitalize this on that same thing you are holding them away from doing. It doesn't work like that. So because we have too many hypocritical parents out there, then we have too many corrupted children out there also. So be a good example. Let them be able to walk in your steps. The 9th challenge is about you being an overprotective parent. You don't need to protect them beyond the normal protection. Yeah, I know it is your responsibility for you to protect them. Yeah, you are made to be responsible for protecting them, but not to overprotect them when they do something that is bad. When you protect them too much, you prevent them from learning responsibility. Let them be responsible to every act of disobedience, to every act of insolence and indolence. 10th challenge is about the changing world. The technology, the smartphones, the social media, the internet trend, actually it exposes our children to so many things, so many values that actually challenge parental authority. Our children's exposure to this changing world is actually making them to be more insolent sometimes if care is not taken. So we are to please train them the way of the Lord and then try to strike a balance. No, you should not brutalize a child and shouldn't abuse them either physically, psychologically, mentally or financially. It's a no-no. But nevertheless, even though the world is changing, there is something that will never change, and that is the standard of God for you as a parent, to bring up a child in the way that he should follow. It is a responsibility that God has entrusted to you that will never change, no matter the changing world, no matter the change in technology and all of the rest. So we should follow through to the assignment that the Lord has given unto us as parents. My 11th point is about fear of losing a child's love. Okay, I don't want my child to hate me. You now avoid to discipline them because you want to be their friends. You want them to love you. This will only lead to disrespect. Of course, I can tell you that a child will poke his finger into your eyes if you allow them. So you are meant to set boundaries. Let them know what you will take and what you will not take. You will not lose them if you actually follow it up with encouragement. If you discipline them in love, they would not hate you. They would love you more. If you are so afraid of losing them and you overpamper them, you covered all their wrongdoings at home, they would hate you more once they realize you didn't do them any good thing. When all these misbehaviors expose them in the outer world, they would blame you eventually, and instead of loving you, they might hate you for abandoning them, to leaving them without discipline. You know why? Because you did not do your job, because you did not train them in the way of the Lord. So you won't lose a child by simply disciplining them, by simply correcting them, putting the right morals into them, teaching them godliness, teaching them the moral stance in the society. You won't lose them. Please don't allow them to disrespect you, because if they disrespect you as parents, believe you me, they will disrespect everyone, whomever outside the home. So let them know the boundaries. It is your duty as parents. My 12th point is very, very important. It's the different temperaments in children. This sometimes could pose a very huge and major challenge, because you might be thinking that the same way you mentored or tutored the first child might be the same way you will tutor the second child. No, in some instances it might not work. The way you parent the first might be different from the way you parent the second, because their temperament might not be the same, and you might need to understand your children based on their temperament before you could know the best method, the best approach into disciplining them. So a method that works for a quiet child might not work for the one that is stubborn, that is overly or highly active, or that is hyperactive. So parents sometimes they struggle to adapt to a disciplined child. But I can tell you that you knowing them according to their temperament would help you a long deal. Call on 0703 715 0154